Welcome back, episode 2. We're here.
You made it back. Thank you for joining us again.
I'm happy that you're back. Also, why? I'm glad that you found us somewhat entertaining or maybe curious to see how.
If you're like part of friends and family, thank you for always supporting us. We love you guys. And if you're someone that's just randomly new in here, like, welcome to the Liz. To the Liz and Marty show.
The Liz and Marty show. You know, last episode we recorded kind of on the whim, just kind of like we were feeling chatty that night, and then we had some time to think about, just names of the podcast.
We went through a couple of cringy ones, but we were like,
and maybe and this one was kind of just like, just
lame
keep it simple.
Yeah. Let's not go all crazy. The X Factor podcast.
What?
I don't know. See? Exactly.
Yes. So welcome back to the Liz and Marty show.
Yes,
so happy you're here.
So like every podcast that we do, we prepare our bullet points and we have our spreadsheets of the topics we're going to hit. Mm-hmm. Psych. I don't know none of that.
I did not come prepared this time, but that's okay. Hopefully it's not all over the place, but we do have a couple of things we want to talk about. One of those being, we definitely want to touch base on that King Kong versus Godzilla movie. Which
if you listen to the first episode, you would know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes, we had a hefty discussion about that last episode, so I'm pretty sure you were on the edge of your seat to hear if we did end up watching it or not.
And we did.
Stick around. Okay,
Sorry,
spoilers. Never mind.
No. We're gonna discuss it because we did watch it. But
we did watch it, so you'll hear our thoughts later. And today is Easter. Easter Sunday is the day we're recording this podcast. So this episode probably won't come out till
Thursday,
midweek. Next week. But tomorrow is going to be the day that we finally upload our first episode.
Yeah, we're like all talking like in past
present,
tense,
future tense. Yeah. What is it? But tomorrow is when you'll be listening to the first episode. I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. But again, if you're listening to this episode, then it sounds like you did enjoy it. Anyways,
guys, yeah. So basically, we're gonna be uploading every Monday and Thursday. So that way, in case you do want to stick around with us, that's when our upload schedule should be around.
Yes, and Monday. Please follow our socials. We just created an Instagram account. It's
the Liz and Marty show.
Yes, Liz and Marty show.
Liz and Marty show. Yes.
At Liz and Marty show on Instagram. And
we're probably gonna kick off a YouTube as well. Maybe do you think we should do that? Yeah,
I think we should. Maybe sometime in the future we can go
and actually use video.
I'm a big YouTuber person. Like I love just watching. I prefer to watch the video versus like the audio. Yeah. So hopefully we can transition to that.
Well, the thing is that for our podcast right now that we're starting, we're kind of just doing like basically we're showing no visuals basically. Like we're not talking about something like a video. Like we're not discussing a video, so you guys don't have to worry about like missing out. Like if we're like, oh, look at this video that we're watching or whatever, So like if you're listening to a podcast, then this should be a great podcast for you. You don't have to worry much about visuals.
Listen to us ramble about nothing on your morning commute, going to the grocery store, whatever.
Work.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, the cool thing also about like YouTube, because you know how you say you're a big YouTube person, but if you're like a paying membership for YouTube, you actually basically YouTube works like Spotify. Like it allows you to have YouTube music, and then if you have podcasts, then you can subscribe to them and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
But yeah, let's what's the first topic in mind? What do you want to talk about first?
I wanted to talk about how last week, was it last week? Yeah, we went thrift shopping, right? And
yes, we went thrifting. Oh my gosh, I love thrifting, you guys.
See, I'm not a big thrifter, but then like I started to realize that when I think of thrift shopping, I think of my mom when she would go to like get clothes, right? But I never liked that, like going to look for clothes. But then like now that I guess
I don't think as a kid it was not fun.
No, it's not fun.
You had to follow your parent around, make sure you didn't get lost, and obviously it was fun to like grab the used toys, but it wasn't like you could take them all with you.
Yeah, and now as an adult, I'm starting to like it because like there's a lot of like vintagey stuff there. Like for example, like we went, guys, and I found a 3 cassette what's a cassette or VHS? VHS.
No, it's a cassette. It's a cassette player. No, this one.
No. That was at the flea market. I'm talking about the thrift shop, the Goodwill. At the Goodwill, I found the trilogy for Star Wars.
Oh, yes, VHS. You're
VHS,
right.
yeah, and some vintage Star Wars playing cards, which was like a super cool like find, because I was checking out for the VHS, and then in the background, like not in the background, sorry, like in the back shelf from where the lady was checking me out, I saw that she had those Star Wars playing cards. It looked like it from afar, and I was like, "Are those playing cards?" She was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh, I'll take them." And guys, I paid $4 for both things, so that was pretty awesome.
You were probably the only person who scored that day. It was kind of we had just wrapped up dinner, and Marty and I were already planning to go to the thrift store, and I think the closest one was a Goodwill, and so and then his family decided to tag along, and it was it was a kind of a field trip to go thrifting that day. But you were the only lucky one, and then we decided to hit up a second one. I think it was called Texas Thrift.
Which is kind of a bust, I really think. Oh, wait, no, you found...
I found a lot of good things. See, this is the thing. Goodwills can be a hit or miss for me, but if it's like a thrift store that's like deep in like, I don't know.
Wherever.
In a neighborhood that like, I don't even care what kind of neighborhood it is. I usually find the best things, just like the most vintage things. Like I found some glassware, some vases, and actually a pretty brand new, if not in good shape, Kate Spade wallet that I plan to regift.
Do you think it would be a cool idea to maybe take a photo of those two things that we found and put it on our Instagram so our listeners can go check it out?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll put our finds on our Instagram, you guys.
They're pretty nice. But what are you? And definitely, if you do check it out, let us know what your guys' thrift shopping tips
Finds
are. Tips, because a lot of times, like thrifting, the thing about thrifting is it takes a while. Like you have to take time. Like a lot of people who say they don't like thrifting, a lot of times just don't take the time to go through everything. But it's like that's the joy, that's the thrill. It's like you have to go through every aisle and kind of like, maybe you weren't looking for shoes, but then you found $2 brand new Keds.
And you know what? Also, maybe you're not going for shoes, but then you probably end up finding some cool like old school Nikes or something.
Something like there's always something. I feel like obviously, like I'm not gonna say every visit is a good visit, but for sure there's always gonna be something. So
I've always seen like a couple of people, not a couple of people, but like some YouTube videos where like people go thrift shopping and they find like these rare valuables, like antique stuff that are like worth like a lot of money now. Yeah. But people are just like what the heck?
I've seen those a lot for Pyrex. Do you know what Pyrex are?
No.
The Pyrex glass. I think it's like tempered. Is it tempered glass? What am I saying? But like where you bake, it's like glassware to bake stuff or like to put in the oven. They're heat proof. I guess. It's
crazy how everybody like everybody has like what do you call it, and there's always a niche for something, right? Because then I see people that go thrift shopping and find like vintage cameras, like cameras that use Super 8 film and stuff like that. But it's cool because like I know how you've been talking a lot about like glass vases and stuff, because you're kind of like into that. So like you know a lot about like what kind of glass and stuff. So that's really cool that you're telling me about like expensive or valuable, not expensive, but like something that you could find that's worth a lot of money and stuff like
I mean,
that.
I don't have the patience to go into eBay and see what they're going for, but a lot of times like I see other people having like these great finds and people just give them away. They don't have any use for them, but then other people just decide to resell them, which I also think is pretty cool. Like flipping things, like I'm all for that. Like it's 2021. Like everybody's
collecting stuff. I feel like that's been popping off. Like
I think
hard.
Just because like, you know, you hear about people collecting like playing cards, Pokemon cards.
The Pokemon
for example,
cards is going
like,
crazy right now.
It's insane. Like things you wouldn't even. I used to have like, I don't know why. Okay, so growing up, I was a tomboy. You knew this.
I knew that. Yeah.
Okay, I was a tomboy, and one of my neighbors growing up, we would always trade Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yu-Gi-Oh.
Don't call him Yugo. I don't know what that is.
I didn't say Yu-Go. Maybe I.
Play it back. Play it back.
Yu-Gi-Oh. I know what they're called. And yeah, if I would have kept, it was like 3 big stacks of, I don't know, I want to say maybe I had like 300.
Wait, no, I don't think the Yu-Gi-Oh cards are the ones that are going for a lot right
I'm
now.
not saying that they are, but what I'm saying is if they were eventually, I feel like I would have beat myself up for like letting them go like that. Because who would have thought Pokemon cards were going to be as big as they are now?
And you know what's crazy? So like, I don't know how much you've seen, but like the big card in Pokemon that goes for a lot is the Charizard, right? The little red dragon.
Sure.
Okay, well, this guy had, dang, I don't even know. Sorry if anybody's like a big Pokemon expert or whatever, but there was this one guy that had like 10 PSA 10 graded cards, which PSA is like a company that grades your cards, like to see how good a condition they are. And this guy had 10 Charizards, all graded 10s, and he took them to that freaking show, Pawn Stars or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know which one? The one that's in Vegas. It's like no, okay. Well, anyways, it's a pawn show on like one of those channels or whatever. I think it's in Discovery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well.
Okay, it sounds familiar now.
Pawn Star something. I don't know what it's called. Well, anyways, he took his collection of cards, right? And he wanted to sell them. And they're like, well, how much do you want for everything? Like everything that you have. Mm-hmm. He's like, I think he said like, I want 500,000 or maybe even less, maybe like 250,000. And they're like, no. He's like, I don't really know anything about this, so they're probably gonna sit here and they're not really gonna sell. Mm-hmm. And that guy right now, he has like the biggest collection. Like he's sitting on a pile of cash right now, and people are like DJs, like famous DJs. I know Steve Aoki or
Steve Aoki.
Yeah, Steve Aoki. He offered him like some crazy ridiculous, amount. Like $750,000, and now he doesn't want to give him up. And he did sell one to Logan. I feel like, yeah.
Oh, was it that older man? I think
yeah, him. Yeah, he was on Pawn Stars, and like they let him go. Like those people had 10 of those cards sitting in front of them, and they were basically like 10, like probably like 7 of the world's cards there, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think about everybody collecting stuff? Like, do you think that's a...
I don't know. I think everyone's just going through a lot of nostalgia, if I'm being honest. I feel like that it all revolves around nostalgic feels where, now we're appreciating things that were, popping in the 90s, early 2000s, but we were too young, like you and I were too young to appreciate them at the time. So now that we're adults and we can, buy them with our own money, we can find like, as far as like, what the Yogi? I'm thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's the Pokemon
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Look at me, I can't even. But
the Yu-Gos again.
Yeah, I think it's just that really. But I don't know what the value, the true value of Pokemon cards is. I think Pokemon is still relevant though. So I feel like it never really went out of style. It wasn't like it went away. Because remember Pokemon Go and how?
Oh yeah, that came back, right? And everybody was like,
did it come back? I feel like it never left.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, well, whenever it came out, I just remember hearing a lot about it because like there was like kids getting ran over and stuff because they were like running in front of the street.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Pokemon. I don't think it ever went out of style. But as far as like thrifting and like collecting collectibles, like you going back stuff. And like finding these Star Wars VHS that you don't even have a VHS player for, no. But like you want to keep them just in case one day they go, they resell for something more. Like I just think people are buying into the, ooh, I own something that you can't buy in a Walmart shelf or like something at Target. Like you have to go and like treasure hunt for these things, and that's fun, what I love. That's really fun. It really is. That's why I love thrifting. I love going to the flea markets. I love buying like used things, used clothes, like an old Ralph Lauren button up.
And I also think like the coolest thing about that too is that everything's so cheap. I feel like $2 for a set of Star Wars stuff.
Why not?
Yeah,
I much rather, I'm so for, and it's also helping the environment. That's one of my biggest things is like, if I can reuse a t-shirt that someone donated versus buying fast fashion, I much rather go for something that's thrifted. And it's great, and it's
better quality too, right? I feel like,
yeah, a lot of times, especially if it's like, well, I always check the tags too. Yeah. Like if I'm buying something and it's like 100% cotton and it's like $1, I'm like, yeah, why not?
Why not get that?
I'm not gonna get 100. I'll take 100% cotton over polyester any day.
See, I don't even know the difference.
Polyester is like plastic. Made out of like particles of plastic, I think. So it
dude,
will, like,
even like that gets me thinking about my jean situation that I have going on with my American Eagle jeans. They all keep ripping at the bottom.
oh my gosh. And they're so expensive.
They're like $60
a pair,
and then they rip. That is so crazy. I wonder if it's me getting fat.
No, I think it's hey, I think it's just your thunder thighs.
Okay, so it's
Thick
a me problem.
thighs.
Then it's a me problem. Okay, great.
I also have that problem. One of my favorite jeans, from a pair of jeans that I bought from Zara 2 years ago, finally gave out in the
what?
in the thigh section. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed out about that too.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a quick like a minute break so we can run our ad that we have.
Yes, we have a
and
new
then
ad read.
We'll be right back, guys.
Okay. And we are back from our ad read.
That was our first ad read. Liz was kind of really nervous recording that.
Yeah, it really took me. I was staring at my microphone for like 5 minutes before I could get it together, but I was just overthinking. I don't know. I feel like I'm not really good with prompts. I feel like I'm more good at like winging it versus like if you give me like, you need to hit this, and I'm like, I panic.
And
I'm
you just
such
couldn't, you couldn't even get it started.
No, I'm like, wait, how do you say? And it's like, it's not my first rodeo. Like I listen to podcasts all the time, and I hear them go into these breaks, and now having to do one is kind of surreal.
Yeah.
Because I never thought I'd be here. But anyway.
And you know what's funny? Right now I was looking at the like, you know how I pulled up, because like in case like since we are new to this podcasting stuff, I kind of like pulled up the like the Google News just to like, if we got stuck just to talk about something, you know. And it's funny because right now we were talking about like collectibles and all this stuff, and then I see right here in technology tab it says unopened Super Mario Brothers game from 1986 sells for $660,000.
Who is buying who?
An unopened Super Mario Bros. Game. I don't even know what. Like hold on, I'm trying to see if it's like a cassette or what or like an actual.
Yeah, like a gaming system, or is it the actual game?
Cassette. It just says an unopened copy of Nintendo Super Mario Bros. That was bought in 1986 and forgotten about in the desk drawer has sold for an auction of $660,000.
How do you just forget that you have a game in your desk drawer? First of all, like, are you that busy? Like,
not even that. Like, even people that have invested into crypto, like that forget their wallet password and then that's it. And they like just like leave all their money that they
okay,
have
but that sounds like a modern problem. We're talking about the 80s.
That's true.
The 80s, and how do you just forget that it's sitting in your drawer? Or maybe they didn't forget. They were just waiting for the perfect time to sell it.
It's also like people that have like just a bunch of stuff that they forget they bought. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure some of us have had problems. Not problems, but like, I guess blessed that sometimes we like going through our closet and we see like a couple of shirts that still have tags on them, you know?
Yes.
And I feel like probably like gamers back then, they would just buy like whatever
is that the
game.
equivalent of having a price tag on a dress you haven't worn?
I guess, but I guess, but also like I do remember like back then, like I would have like 3 of the same game, like whenever I had a 64 and Nintendo 64, because the cassettes will break, and I had 2 of the same ones, and I was like, which one's a good one, which one's a bad one. I also remember that with my Xbox.
Were they expensive?
The Xbox ones, they were. Well, I guess even the cassettes, because the cassettes were like $40.
The cassettes were $40.
Yeah, that was like 2002 and 4. And then obviously Xbox games were $60 a piece, so that's not cheap.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had like 2. I remember I had 2 of the same ones because, and then my cousin would come over and we're like, all right, get the game, and then we'll put one in there, and it was like that one didn't freaking like work after a certain point. We're like, God damn it, we put in the wrong one again. And so we would have to like stop the whole thing and put the other one in and start it all over again.
Well, I bought a Nintendo Switch last year during quarantine because I swore I was going to be bored out of my mind and I needed something to play. And
you should have gone with the flea market.
Yeah, we were just at the flea market yesterday, and there was like is it the NES?
Yeah, it's like a little NES, but it's not really an NES.
It's like a mock-up, but it's like it has instead of like, it's not the original. Obviously, it was like $30, but it had like 600 plus games or something.
Yeah, it was one of those like Roku kind of things, but for like video games. But they were like not modern video games. They're all like vintage, like like Contra. Do you remember Contra?
Yes.
That was the two little guys with machine guns, and they were just shooting stuff or whatever.
Yes, I do.
Like those kind of games. They were like not anything crazy.
And no one told me about. I mean, I don't know anything about video games, but man, I only have 2, and they're so expensive.
Oh yeah, for the Switch.
Nintendo Switch,
especially right now. For some reason, they're popping off. They're like really going off.
I mean, remember in quarantine? I mean, we're still in quarantine, I guess, technically, but not in Texas.
Not in Texas. Texas kind of opened.
I mean, in Missouri, we're still kind of encouraged to, stay at home if we can. But yeah, like last year, everything was sold out. Every Nintendo Switch in any part of Kansas City was sold out. My brother-in-law was the one who was able to get one of 2 and sold me 1, but it was crazy. Remember, everybody was just buying a Nintendo Switch. So
I feel like also that quarantine made a lot of people like start getting into collectibles because you can do that inside, stay home.
That's true. Because a lot of that just started to spike up when people were like spring cleaning the entirety of 2020
and finding stuff,
and they're like, oh, do you think this could go for something?
Yeah.
Digging in their basements, just cleaning things out. Well, because that's true. If you think about like a year ago, like people were out, doing
whatever
yard work, going to Home Depot and like doing, DIY things at home.
Oh, I feel like DIY was a really big, like, right? Yeah, like maybe like 2 years ago.
And now it's like everybody's just out.
Did I remember my sister DIY'd a bench with cinder blocks and like 4x4s or something like that?
Yes, I remember that.
Oh my god, nobody ever sat on that bench. It was so uncomfortable.
Well, you didn't know if you were gonna fall over or not. You didn't know if
it was really unstable too. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like from my experience, I did get into comic books and stuff like during the quarantine, which was kind of weird. No, sorry, it wasn't even comic books. It was books in general.
Yes.
I started reading. And then I started reading more comics books one day whenever I went to the bookstore and they had a little comic book like pop-up shop outside. Mm-hmm. They were selling comic books and I just bought I remember I bought 4 of them because they were like $2, not $2, like $4 each. So I got that. And then even yesterday when we went to the flea market, we found that really nice little spot that had like a bunch of comic books and the guy was selling them all for $1. And if you got 5, I think he gave you 2 for free.
I feel like comic books have always been a collectible and like reselling business, right?
I feel like
I've heard of that being like kind of like an ongoing thing rather than like it just spiked because of COVID or it spiked because of something.
And I even feel like maybe they're not even spiking right now. I feel like not a lot of people are collecting comic books.
But that's okay. Maybe there will be later on. Maybe what if people... Because remember, people are moving on to NFTs, which I don't know enough to even talk about. I don't even know why I brought that up. But
oh, don't get me started on NFTs. No, I'm kidding. God. I don't even know that many. I don't even know that much on NFTs. Non-fungible tokens.
See? Can't even.
Yeah, non-fungible tokens. Basically, guys, NFTs are digital art that you can purchase, and you're going to hope that it goes up in price, and then you can resell it later on. Or basically collectibles online. And they're so expensive.
And they're usually one of one, right?
No. So whenever you create an NFT, like let's say you and me are gonna make the Marty and Liz show NFT.
Liz and Marty show.
Got it wrong. We get the Liz and Marty show NFT. Whenever you create it as the creator, you choose however many you want to have out. True. So you can go from 1 to 25 to 100.
Yeah, but I feel like the ones that sell the most are the ones that are kind of one of
one. Yeah. Yeah, one of ones are pretty. I mean, are the ones that will go for the most. But even like, there's a lot of artists that are not even famous that are just going on their computers and creating whatever NFT and then just putting it up for sale and someone buys it. The thing is, it's being sold in Ethereum, which is kind of like, it's really expensive to move around. Because I have some Ethereum, and whenever I try to transfer it from my Coinbase account to my wallet, it was giving me like a hard hit. Like,
I don't even know. I've heard of these are words to me, what you're saying, but I still don't understand that whole like coin wallet.
Okay, well, it's because the thing is that like a lot of people say they have Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, but if you don't have it in your personal wallet, then it's kind of not yours. You're just kind of like, you bought
borrowing it, kind of.
Borrowing it? I don't think borrowing it would be.
Okay.
I mean,
it's just kind of it's there as a placeholder, but you don't.
It's like a stock. Whenever you buy a stock, you don't like physically get it. It's just there in the stock market, and then it goes up and down in price, right? But it's never an actual physical thing that you can have to yourself.
Okay.
That's what happens when you have a Bitcoin in Cash App, or if you have it on Robinhood or in Coinbase. Not until you pull it out, that's when it's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I was saying is just basically that NFTs are bought with Ethereum, which is a type of coin, and then the gas prices on Ethereum is really expensive. By gas prices, I mean like what they charge to move your Ethereum around. So, like, let's say you're gonna move $10, you're probably gonna like keep $7. That's how much. Like, that's a lot. Like, especially if you're like in the thousands. Like, if you're gonna buy 5,000 Ethereum, and then you wanna put that 5,000 in your wallet, you're gonna get like 4,000 something. Like, that's a lot of money to lose.
A
big hit. A big
Yikes! Hit. Well, speaking of taking hits,
what?
King Kong and Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah. So we were like, I really thought she wasn't gonna watch it, but she actually went in there and sat down for a little bit and watched some of it.
So the movie, let's just start off by giving a rating. Let's just give it a solid rating of 5 out of 5 stars. What would you rate that movie?
I'm gonna give that movie, 7.5
out of 5 stars, babe.
Oh wait, sorry, I thought you said 1 out of 10. Out of 5 stars, okay. That's gonna be a 3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Okay. And for those who are just listening to our second episode for the first time and didn't watch or listen, not watch, but listen to the first one, we were just talking about how I wasn't planning to watch the King Kong versus Godzilla movie, just because it's not one of my, it's just not something I gravitate towards. But
monster movies,
no thanks. But we ended up watching it shortly after that podcast was recorded, and I would give it a 3. I would give it a 3 stars.
Oh wow, that's pretty high.
3 out of 5.
I thought you were gonna give
no, because it wasn't terrible.
Okay.
It was not terrible. I think if it was terrible, I'd give it like a 1 or a 2. But it was a 3.
So let's do like a 10-minute non-spoiler review, and then after that,
I won't give spoilers. We watched it on HBO.
I do want to do a spoiler like after 10 minutes of talking about non-spoilers, then we'll go to spoilers. Okay. Like, we'll announce it whenever we're gonna go to spoilers. Okay, so I guess start me off with let's see, what can I say? What did you think about the special effects? Like, did it look super fake? Was it kind of there, or
kind of yes and no? Like,
yes and no fake?
Yeah, it was still like, I don't know if it was also the TV that we were watching it on. It was kind of like, I don't know. It was not.
Wait, are you trying to say great. It was looking? Oh, it was not great.
No, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. I think it
was just all right. It was whatever.
Okay, sure. I guess I don't have anything to compare it to right off the bat, but
did it look like a video game, or did it look?
No, it didn't look like a video game.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it looked decent, I guess.
It looked decent. Okay, that's pretty cool.
What do you think?
I thought it looked fine. I like the videography on it. I like the. I really like how Godzilla and King Kong looked. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
Really
yeah. I didn't like. You know what I didn't like, and I think I noticed is that Godzilla kept making the same noise over and over and over again. Like, he never switched it up.
And it's like there's no facial expressions, right? It's like
he's a goddamn dinosaur. What do you want him to do? No, I'm
I
kidding.
know, but Barney was a dinosaur and he had a lot of expressions.
He had a mascot.
Okay, but don't say dinosaurs can't give off expressions.
He was not giving off.
Maybe again, 2021. Let's do better with facial expressions. Godzilla, I know you're angry all the time, but let's just.
He said.
Oh.
Give me your best Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm not
do
doing
it.
any of that. Absolutely
Here,
not.
I'll go first and then you go.
I'm not.
Ready? Yeah, here we go.
I'm so sorry you had to hear that. I'm terrified right now. I'm not
You're
doing
not going
it.
to do it? Oh, my God.
I think you did a really good job.
Okay, well, thanks.
So I guess visuals are fine. Yeah, they're good.
What about the storyline? Did you enjoy the storyline?
I enjoyed the storyline. It made sense. I wasn't confused or anything. Like, again, I'm not an avid watcher of these kind of movies, but I feel like
for somebody that for someone that would just randomly.
Although I did have some questions, like why is he there, and what's King Kong's home name? Huh?
His house? I mean, his homeland or whatever?
Yeah, what's it called?
Skull Island?
See? Yeah, like, I don't know that. But
yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I guess what I meant is, like, if anybody were just to, like, just a normal movie.
Like I said, yeah. Like, it was easy to understand, but I just had, like, I see, that's the thing. Like, I always talk during movies, too. Mm-hmm. I'm always asking questions, and you're not that. I think when we first started dating, we went to our first few movies together.
I was like, stop.
I was like whispering. What was that one movie you and I went to go watch? It was like the last big Avengers movie.
Oh, Endgame.
We went to go watch that together, remember?
Yeah.
And at the end, when everybody started clapping and like, I dead ass heard the guy behind me crying. He was a
when Spider-Man came back.
Was it that point?
Yeah, Spider-Man comes back.
And he started sobbing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
and
I was talking through the entire movie because at some parts people were just being so cringe about it. Okay. But I have to talk. But I have to talk to you about it because I love cracking jokes or anything. So yeah. I'm definitely if you don't like when people talk during movies, definitely don't invite me. But that is who I am.
Duly noted. What did you think of the cast?
Why was Isaac Gonzalez in this? Just kidding. We love representation. I thought it was fine. I don't know any of these people though. Did
Millie
you?
Bobby Brown?
Oh yeah. Okay, her character, let's be real. We didn't need it.
I feel like she didn't need to be there. Like the whole like storyline with the kid and her and
like
you know what it felt like? It felt like they wanted to add like a little bit of Stranger Things into there. Like kids running around highly security facilities.
Save it for the spoilers.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, them, like, kind of running around there was just kind of, like, a little off-putting.
Yeah, the cast was fine.
Okay, I have a kind of, like, a little heated question. I don't know. Okay, here I go.
Does it involve spoilers?
No, it doesn't. Okay. It doesn't involve spoilers. So, wait, is it spoilers? All right, we're going to go into spoilers, because really, I mean, that's all we have.
Spoiler alert.
It might, spoiler alert, but it might not even be spoiler alert, because I don't know if this counts for anything. Yeah, anyways, okay. So, yeah. Isaac Gonzalez, that character, literally did nothing, right?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, but do you feel they just added her on there because they have to, you know how Hollywood's like being real woke right now and they're just trying to add like diversity and women and all this stuff. Do you feel like that character was kind of forced? No, but I'm being serious because like, you know how they're just like forcing stuff on?
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really see the need
for her character, right?
I didn't see how her character impacted in one way or another the storyline. She literally played the daughter of
the rich guy or whatever.
Of I guess if you could say the
big corporation.
The bad guy.
Okay, the bad guy.
He's a bad guy in the movie. And she was just there to supervise the whole project. But that's literally all she did was just ride along and she...
Yeah,
and it's like
supervise.
And I swear to God, I took like 3 naps during that movie.
Because, she did take 3 naps.
Yeah, and so by the 3rd nap, I woke up. I was like, "Where's Isaac Gonzalez?"
He said, "Damn dead. She got murdered by King Kong."
And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. I guess we didn't need her." But yeah.
Exactly. But yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know if it does speak to Hollywood trying to be more inclusive, and if that is the case, I mean, don't like to me that doesn't mean anything. If you're gonna give out meaningless roles, but again, I wonder if there's something else that I'm missing because I'm not a King Kong.
No, but I feel like I feel like okay, maybe they were like, all right, let's add her in because we're gonna build her up for the next movie where she's gonna be this, right? But she dies, and that just kills it.
That's a good point.
So I was like thinking, oh, she's a supervisor.
They're gonna develop this character.
Yeah, and the main guy's gonna die, right? The evil guy, the main evil guy's gonna, and then she's gonna, yeah. But no, she dies.
Or what if they made us think that she dies? I missed that part.
Oh, no,
so
she died. She died.
She dead. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and then what I was talking about, the Millie Bobby Brown character and the other actor, Julian, he's another kid actor. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was really pushed in there because they're kind of like running around the whole movie. Like,
yeah, and no hate to Millie Bobby Brown. We love you, girl. Keep doing what you're doing. We're so proud of you. But also, it's just, I feel like for this particular movie, their roles were just kind of like, I don't know. Because would you say that it's also a movie that's directed to appeal a younger audience? So maybe they needed that. Like maybe there's kids who are excited about King Kong watching it, and they kind of needed, a familiar face like Millie Bobby Brown's, who maybe they've watched in Stranger Things. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because now King Kong, this movie, when was the last time they made a King Kong movie? Or the last
like
year?
about 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Now they're, I don't know what the youngest generation's called, but, they kind of want to get that generation kind of interested in these movies too. So that was the only
I mean, like I said, I don't really care, but it was just like really unbelievable. But then again, it's King Kong versus Godzilla, so none of it's believable.
Yeah.
I really don't like the goddamn little girl running around the high corporate facilities. Leave Godzilla alone.
Yeah, I really did say right off the bat, I'm like, these characters are really they're obsolete. I don't need them. But I mean, if they're there to make the movie like kind of like quirky and like funny, they had some kind of like funny jokes here and there, but whatever.
Brian Tyree, he was like the
guy
comic relief, I feel like, of the whole movie. He was just cracking like little jokes that kind of weren't that funny. And I don't like it when when they play the funny guy like extra funny, like
that's just, I feel like those are just the kind of movies that you're
that's not
in for. No,
or not. I mean, I feel like if they would just stick to if they would have focused more on just King Kong and Godzilla fighting, that would have been the cool part. Because that's what basically this whole movie is about. It's just two giant monsters going at it and destroying the whole city while they're doing it. And then they have to add this one guy that's just like, oh my God, what's behind this door?
Right. He was kind of a narrator too, if you think about it. Like he was narrating what was going on because he had intel, because he worked at that facility.
And he put everything on a podcast.
Yes, which the irony.
Yeah.
We're talking about it as.
Well, not just that, but also like if you're behind, like if you're a big facility, if you're a big company and there's a guy like leaking everything and he has a podcast, like you can easily track him down,
Anyway, yeah. I mean, we're also not going to believe that King Kong and Godzilla really went after it. What did you think about the ending?
I kind of liked it because Robot Godzilla is actually like.
Is that the ending that you thought? Is a better question. Is that the ending that you thought would?
Yes, because I noticed him. I mean, sorry, like they didn't spring up Robot Godzilla out of nowhere. Like from the beginning they were working on something.
Robot Godzilla. I love how we just called him that.
That's his name, Robotzilla.
Right. Robozilla.
Robozilla.
I like that. They should have called
that. Should have been our podcast name.
Robozilla.
The Robozilla.
Welcome back
show.
to Robozilla.
No, but yeah. So no, he wasn't. I mean, yeah, it was totally what I expected, because as soon as the movie starts, Godzilla attacks the city, and we all know Godzilla is not an evil monster, so he doesn't really just attack cities for no reason. He felt the presence of another big titan that was being built, and he wanted to destroy it, because they only turned him on for a little bit of time, because that's like all the power they had to power him for. And after that, the energy would run out. So they were having like an energy crisis. That's why they needed King Kong.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm filling you in for this moment you slept in. Yeah. So the company was having like an energy crisis. So the only way they knew that they could get that energy was from the home birth of Godzilla. Of King Kong, because King Kong comes from energy or whatever. So in this movie, if you watch Skull Island, they captured King Kong. I'm like doing like the freaking whole rant.
Yeah, you're going in. You guys, I know you didn't
sign up for
an
this
entire review.
Yeah, just watch the movie. Watch the movie. It's really good.
Watch the movie.
It's really good.
It is worth watching.
Yeah, and there's nothing like no surprises or anything. Like it all makes sense. Like it's not. The storyline was good. The main storyline was good. The side little storylines were kind of like weird. Like they didn't need to be there. And they also like Millie Bobby Brown at the end like runs to her dad. Like if it was this like super emotional thing, which it wasn't, because their dad wasn't even there that much, but whatever.
Yeah, again, the dad who for what?
Exactly. He comes out like in 2 scenes. Yeah. Anyways, 3.5 for me.
3 stars out of 5 stars for me.
Yeah, you guys. Well, you want to wrap this one up?
Yeah, we can wrap this one up. Kind of a
movie
quick and
review.
easy one. Yeah, we just wanted to follow up, let you know that we are coming back for the second episode. We're so excited.
Coming back for the third episode. This is the second episode.
Well, we came back with the second episode as well.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
And hopefully, getting started on the third one as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. It means a lot to us.
Make sure to check out our Instagram. We're going to throw up the finds.
Yes. And don't forget to let us know, what are your tips when going thrifting? Or if you don't have any tips, what is your best thrift find? Because I know I have several. And I always love to say, I thrifted this.
Nice. Yeah, definitely let us know. We look forward to getting some of your feedback, you guys. Just make sure to follow us on Instagram. Leave us a little comment. Maybe rate us on podcast on whatever podcast you're listening to. Help us out.
Not raid, but rate. Don't rate us, please. Rate the podcast.
Yeah.
Rate the podcast.
Subscribe
If you haven't already, and we will talk to you soon.
See you.
Bye.